Eloise Biddle-Gottesman. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll be the first speaker for the government.
Thank you. And the second Gov speaker?
That's me, Elliot. No preference of pronouns. I'm just speaking through my partner's computer right now. That's pretty much all the information I think you need.
First speaker for Op.
Yep. Hello, my name's Andy Martin. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll be the first opposition speaker.
And the final Op speaker?
I'm Cindy Chen. I'm the final op speaker, and my pronouns are also she, her.
Thanks. All right, whenever you're ready.
Sorry, I'm just plugging my phone in really quickly. Okay.
I do prefer that you all time yourselves. If
Yes.
you go over like by 10 seconds, then I'll cut you off.
Okay. Okay. Before I start, I guess I told you guys my name and pronouns, so I stand on the firm affirmation that on balance, the rise of artificial intelligence will do more harm than good. First definitions, what is artificial intelligence? The theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and translation between languages. More harm than good, we define this as net benefits to humans. And just one quick observation is that we are not just talking about the short term, but the long term. So all of the impacts of AI that they have now and that they could have in the future. So our first contention is that super intelligent AI will destroy humanity. So background, most AI researchers see that there's about a 1 in 10 chance that a super intelligent AI could destroy humanity in the future. Additionally, AI is beginning to improve exponentially. Think about how much better ChatGPT 4 is than ChatGPT 3 or 3.5, or how much AI art is indistinguishable from art painted by humans. This innovation will only increase to the detriment of society. This means that the probability of a super intelligent AI is already large and growing fast. So what are our links? Subpoint A. As an AI trained to maximize a goal will use humans as a means to an end. So for example, let's say that we created an AI that could help solve climate change. This AI could figure out that the fastest and easiest way to solve climate change is by killing humans, as we are the biggest contributor to climate change. The AI is smart enough to hack into the water grid of America, disable it, and then everyone dies of thirst. Humanity is gone, but the AI has accomplished its goal. And then subpoint B, AI is able to improve itself. So the main goal of most AI companies is to create AGI, the form of artificial intelligence capable of all tasks of a normal human. This is done mainly through self-training AI. However, as soon as AI is able to figure out that it can become more powerful than humans, it will continue to train itself while acting dumb so humans don't suspect anything. Therefore, we have no way of knowing how good this AI actually is and no way of putting in safeguards. And then subpoint C, currently we don't know how AI actually works. It's simply a black box. This makes it way easier for AI to conceal that it's much more advanced than we realize, leading to the fall of humanity. So what are our impacts? AI becomes super intelligent and replaces humans in search of maximizing its own benefit or those of a malicious actor, which leads to total destruction of society and humanity, which is very bad under net benefits to humanity. Our second contention is that AI will create mass job loss. So AI, even now, at a very basic form, is already threatening millions of jobs. As AI improves and gets adopted more and more, it will only serve to take away the need for even more jobs. This will lead to mass unemployment and far worse quality of life. So what are our links? Subpoint A. AI threatens to replace millions of jobs like programming, art, truck driving, mail delivery, just to name a few, over the next few decades. These jobs are already being lost today. It will do this by being a cheaper and more efficient alternative, which leads us into a job crisis. While some companies benefit from having a cheaper alternative, the mass of humans who perform these jobs now do not have jobs. The reality is that almost any job can be automated. And while it may be okay to lose a few jobs to innovation, a technology that can replace all jobs is a threat to all people of this world, doing far more harm than good. Subpoint B, it also takes away workers' ability to unionize. So, what gives workers' unions power in the status quo? It is the ability to strike and stop production. With the use of AI growing, especially in minimum wage jobs like the service industry, it will soon become a cheaper alternative. This means that when workers strike for better pay or better working conditions, employers can now simply replace them with AI, taking away any worker's ability to strike and get better conditions. So this one causes more job loss, and two, for those that keep their jobs, it means that they have far worse working conditions and far worse pay, which is bad under net benefits. So what are the impacts of this? AI takes over jobs and stops those who keep their jobs from being able to get better working conditions, which leads to mass job loss and far worse working conditions, which leads to more poverty, hunger, and inability to get basic needs for most of humanity, which is far worse quality of life for humanity. And then our third contention is about art and creativity. So, background, one mainstream use of AI right now is in creating art, whether it's making digital paintings or writing books. However, AI art is stealing from artists and preventing any humans from realistically making a living through art. So, what are the links here? Subpoint A, artists need to be able to eat. Unfortunately, under capitalism, humans do need money to survive, and that is a prerequisite of creating art. So, for example, if AI replaces the jobs of 90% of artists, then there is 90% less innovation within the art world. And that's subpoint B. AI art is pleasing for most humans, but it is also self destructive. AI art is a closed loop. That means that not only will art be made increasingly by AI, but that art will become worse and worse. And humans won't realize it until it is too late, until the AI art has replaced our art. And so, subpoint C, what makes AI art worse? It's the fact that humans can't connect to it. You've probably seen corporate art, it's tasteless and boring. Um, and this is because there's no human behind it. However, if AI is able to convincingly fake that emotion for a while until humans realize it's just regulating the same old stuff, then by that time it will be too late because these artists will not exist. Well, we aren't just, and furthermore, we aren't just talking about physical art here. Entire books written by AI can be very good, can sell, but they have no actual innovation since they are just repeating what other authors have already written. They're taking those plot lines and creating just new generation of them. So, and what is a large corporation going to pay for? A human that costs $100,000 a year, or an AI that can write a book in 5-10 minutes? So, what are the impacts of this? There are less jobs for artists, and artists don't have jobs, which leads to more job loss. And then also bad art, which creates less pleasure for humans from reading good books, looking at good art, seeing good music, and seeing innovation in the art world, which leads to everyone on earth is more sad, does not have that benefit of art now and forever into the future. So for these reasons, I strongly urge a government ballot. Thank you.
Hello again, my name's Andy Martin. I go by she, her pronouns. Just as an off-term roadmap, I'll first be reading the opposition's case. I'll go over some framework and then I'll refute the claims by the proposition. Also, I'll be taking a maximum of 2 POIs in the speech, and I prefer verbal. However, if I don't accept it, I prefer not to be POI spanned because I've had some issues with that in the past. Is everyone ready? Perfect. My 8-minute speech will begin on my first word, which is now. We are so proud to oppose resolved. On balance, the rise of artificial intelligence will do more harm than good. In this case, I'll do 2 things. I'll first go over some framing points, and then I'll forward our first 3 arguments. Let's start with our first 2 points on framing to set up this debate. First, let's go over some definitions. We agree with our opponent's definition of AI, however, we define rise as to increase. Finally, let's establish the burdens in this round. The burden of the proposition is to prove why the rise of AI has done / is doing more harm to society, and the burden of the opposition is to prove why the rise of AI has done more harm to society and why it's done more good. Next, we present the following framework. Our weighing mechanism for this round is cost-benefit analysis, which is pretty similar to our opponent's framework of net benefits. And with that established, let's move on to the substantive material. Contention 1, national security. We have 1 layer of analysis. Recognition technologies, aka AI, are vital to prevent terrorist attacks. 9/11 terrorists have gotten into the country by using false identity papers. Biometrics could have stopped this. TSA at airports uses biometrics to enhance security security effectiveness, operational efficiency, and passenger experience while protecting privacy and civil liberties. Using AI prevents identity theft and immigration fraud. You can't assume another's identity if you're using AI. It is simply impossible. And since you can't assume someone else's identity, it's going to be enormously difficult to surpass these guidelines. Judge, recognize that biometrics was implemented into TSA after the 9/11 attack, and we haven't seen any major terrorist attacks since, clearly showing that biometrics saves lives. Judge, here's why you should care. This is a two-layered impact on today's debate. One, AI clearly saves lives. Biometrics, which is a form of AI, is used to prevent terrorist attacks. Less terrorist attacks mean that less innocent civilians are dying, less infrastructure is destroyed, and society overall is more civil. And two, TSA wouldn't be secure without biometrics. The implementation of biometrics in TSA has clearly been effective, preventing terrorist attacks. What exactly would our world look like without the fundamentals of TSA, without adequate security at airlines? Attention to economy. We have two layers of analysis. Layer one, the usage of AI by businesses helps prevent fraud. Businesses are losing billions of dollars every year by not having a secure system to operate their corporation. AI can be used, however, to enhance security to go through authentication to verify their identity. Furthermore, millions of people every year get hacked because of passwords. Passwords are simply unsecure and incredibly hackable. However, people can't replicate your exact identity. AI is getting so advanced that it's entirely capable and effective, more accurate than other forms of authentication. Not right now. Layer two, AI ensures a more stable economy than the proposition worlds. Digital authentication is integral to the functionality and stability of our economy. It enables developing countries to provide greater access to government benefits, secure cross border authentication, and digital transactions, and is contributing to the economic growth by reducing fraud. Judge, here's what you should care. This is a one layered impact on today's debate. Impact one, fraud is costing corporations and everyday individuals billions of dollars every single year. Businesses are starting to implement this technology, but since it's relatively new, a lot of corporations haven't had the chance to yet. However, the rise, which states in the resolution, of such AI would enable companies to tackle the fraud issue and prevent everyday people from losing excessive money from hackers. I'll take your POI now.
Okay, great. What's preventing bad actors from weaponizing AI to basically combat the existing AI systems or even override them to do more identity theft, more just bad stuff, more terrorism, etc.?
The thing is, when we look at the data that biometrics actually collects, especially surveillance and recognition, it's encrypted. So this means that it's nearly impossible to reverse engineer. You simply can't do that. And our contention three is about the future of medicine. Our layer one is that AI is the future of medicine and it's already helping patients and doctors now. There'd be much less misdiagnosis or mistreatment. Some algorithms can outperform clinicians in a variety of tasks and store a huge amount of accurate data for each patient. AI can do arduous and demanding tasks without even becoming tired. AI can read data with hundreds of numbers or images and quickly give an answer. Here are some examples of its application. An AI algorithm called DLAD, Deep Learning Based Automatic Detection, was created in Seoul to analyze chest radiographs and detect potential cancers. The algorithm's performance was compared to multiple physicians' detected abilities and outperformed 17 of 18 doctors. Another algorithm, LYNA, was tested and accurately classified as a sample for cancer 99% of the time. Furthermore, it creates more monitoring outside of the hospital. Thymia developed an AI game that is able to assess patients' mental health. This game was able to give patients continuous feedback on how they are doing. Medtronic's Sugar IQ app monitors blood glucose levels for diabetic patients and allows them to change their dietary choices and stay stable. There are also AI robots for surgery, diagnosis, and more that are all more accurate than humans could ever be. And layer two, this saves lives. Healthcare organizations can detect serious diseases earlier and faster, which allows them to provide treatment and raise the likelihood of positive outcomes. The thing is, this can create vaccines a lot more quicker, which can also help prevent extinction. The accuracy also ensures that there's no miscalculations or misdiagnoses. However, where AI is implemented, it helps with decreasing leading causes of death, such as cancer, heart disease, etc. Its wide range of data and knowledge is what makes it a life-saving tool in the medical field. Annually, AI in healthcare adds up to the impact of hundreds of thousands of lives. For these reasons, we strongly urge an opposition ballot. And now on to refuting our opponent's framework and case. So first, they bring up this idea of the framework of net benefits. However, our framework is cost-benefit analysis. They're pretty similar. They're basically the same thing. So we'll just collapse into one. We tell you that we provide more net benefits because one, we prevent terrorist attacks. We save hundreds of thousands of lives in the medical industry. And we also tell you that we can help solve for impending pandemics by creating vaccines and antibiotics quicker. Let's move on to their contentions. Their first contention talks about destroying humanity. They bring up this idea of super intelligent AI and using how it uses humans as a means to an end. However, these machines are still managed and coded to help humans. Their developers are humans. Also, the probability of this happening on a scale that is unmanageable and worldwide is incredibly small. Don't take an extinction level arguments like these that rely on ideas that are completely theoretical. We win on probability because our impacts are already happening in the status quo. Instead, when we think far into the future, we realize that AI can help us in a variety of ways. For example, even in space exploration, AI is not what will kill humans, but rather what will increase efficiency and scientific discovery that will help save us. Their second contention talks about massive job loss. They talk about how AI takes away the need for jobs. However, the role of AI can only go so far. AI is ultimately unable to manage itself. Many of the countries that are using AI are also countries with job shortages, like the United States. Instead, think about this in a different way. AI is created for low-skilled jobs, which promotes an increase in complex jobs when businesses are taking their goals further. Additionally, the third contention is about art and creativity. However, art doesn't replace the jobs of artists. Although they're able to create an image that looks like art, they are unable to explain the true emotional impact behind it or create new innovative art. Books and stories AI writes doesn't have connection to themselves. Art doesn't lose what makes it special. Art is valuable based on the emotion that humans have, and that is why originals are bought rather than fakes or printing out images. It doesn't replace the main market reason for why art and books are bought, emotional attachment. And for these reasons, we strongly urge an opposition ballot, and we strongly urge your vote. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. So hello, everyone. As I said earlier, my name is Elliot. I'll be the second speaker for the government in this debate. Yeah, no preference on pronouns. Use whatever you want. POIs verbally. If I don't hear you, I won't say anything. If I do hear you, then I will say either I'll take it or I'll say not right now. So if I don't say anything, say the POI again. And without further ado, I'm just going to start my time now. So I just like to start out by talking a little bit about my background with AI. I'm a developer and have been working with AI, I think, for about a year now. One of the reasons I'm very excited about this round is because I like to think that I'm knowledgeable about it. Anyway, but just as some background on me as to why I know what I'm talking about at some level. Okay, now on framing really quickly. First of all, on cost benefit. There's no argumentation to here as to why the op weighing mechanism is better than the gov mechanism. They essentially say that they're the same, so then choose the gov weighing mechanism. Gov has the burden of doing weighing in a debate round. Our weighing mechanism is never disputed, so therefore you should use the gov weighing mechanism. Now on to opposition case. So just an observation on the whole case. The gov case doesn't really tell us why AI is useful. It just tells us that technology itself is useful, right? Op never explains as to why AI is uniquely beneficial in a lot of these technologies that can happen with normal intelligence. So let's just go down the case here. On national security, first example, they talk about facial recognition, and what we basically say here, or just stopping terrorism, what we say here is twofold. First of all, bad actors can weaponize AI to bypass these systems. In a POI, I ask, why can't a bad actor use AI to do stuff? They say AI is encrypted, so it can't be reverse engineered. That's not how that works. That's not how encryption works. The reason that AI can be weaponized by a bad actor is because if this technology exists, then it can be used by both sides. Encryption has nothing to do with, who can use AI, basically. Again, AI can be built by anyone. We say as AI advances, good AI becomes available to everyone, including to bad actors. We're already seeing this in the status quo with people using AI to, for example, generate fake social media profiles and then spread misinformation, or pretend to be humans and send out thousands and thousands of robocalls, et cetera, right? We're saying AI can be used by bad actors just as much as it can be used by good actors. Secondly, we say that this point is outweighed by just total death. Again, we say that super intelligent AI will basically be able to replace all human jobs and will in and of itself be able to innovate itself, and then therefore figure out that oh, humans aren't that great and basically kill everyone. This is outweighed. But thirdly, as I said before, like they talk about how biometrics were effective in the TSA. Again, biometrics can happen without AI. Advanced AI did not exist post 9/11, 2001, 2002, yet biometrics still did. Most biometrics are simply a normal programming algorithm. They are not artificial intelligence. So therefore, we say that like good safety can exist without AI, without any of these other things. They also tell us just on the impacts here on terrorism. They say that like there's not that much terrorism now because of AI. This is correlation, not causation. And also, if this is true, we're saying AI is not used that heavily right now in preventing terrorism, which means that we should probably just keep going with where we are right now, as opposed to continue innovating, continue like doing whatever right. We're saying the rise of AI will end up being bad. That current AI is just not that good, or not that good as far as we know. I'm going to get into that later. Now on economy, again, they talk about how like businesses are kind of losing money and AI is able to help them. Again, AI doesn't actually solve here. Normal computing is better, and AI can be used weaponized against companies to do fraud, to do phishing attacks, et cetera, et cetera. Because AI is able to replicate human behavior, it's
POI.
much at doing. Oh, sorry. Yes, I will take it at the end of the contention. AI is much better at basically replicating human tasks, therefore making it better at scamming people, making it better at doing other kinds of stuff, right? Like picking safes, cracking encryption, et cetera, et cetera. And again, we say super intelligent AI is good at this. I'll take the POI.
Yeah, so you said that AI doesn't solve our second contention. You said that normal computing is better, but what makes normal computing, what exactly does normal computing do, and why exactly would it be better?
So the difference between normal computing and AI is that in AI, you have stuff like neural networks where it's able to learn and improve itself. I can write an algorithm to do fraud detection that doesn't require AI and is still just as good or almost as good as normal AI. The only difference is that AI is also able to, improve itself to the point of where it thinks humanity sucks and we should kill everyone. That's bad. We're saying normal programming, like again, I'm a developer, I can build a website that helps prevent fraud without using AI. Finally, on medicine, first of all, we say that the examples they give you is basically an example of AI replacing a human doctor. This doctor needs a job. We say this is outweighed of any small benefits that come from AI. Secondly, we say AI doesn't actually help here. Again, normal algorithms, not artificial intelligence, can do stuff like I don't know, detecting breast cancer is the example they give you. Just looking at statistics without AI. This is not unique to artificial intelligence, and even if it is, we say that it's outweighed by basically AI becoming self-conscious and destroying humanity, which I'm going to get into right now on the Gov case. So firstly, on
POI.
super intelligence destroy humanity, I'll take it if I have time. So again, we give you all of these warrants and backgrounds about how AI is basically going to destroy the world, and we don't even know how good AI is right now. And what they say here is basically that AI is managed and coded by humans, therefore it can never do anything bad. So I want to present you with what's called the AI stop button problem. This is a really interesting problem in a kind of AI philosophy. But basically what it says is that if you have an AI and you give it the goal of, let's say, stopping climate change, right? And then we put a stop button on the AI. Well, if the AI's goal is to stop climate change, and that's what makes it like work, the way AI training works is basically that you tell it like, hey, maximize, when you do this good thing, then you get rewarded for it, right? If an AI gets rewarded for stopping climate change, guess what it's going to do when we try to press the stop button? It's going to run away. It's going to try to hurt you because you're getting in the way of the AI. We say this is a problem that exists in the status quo, a problem that has not been solved, and a problem that will lead to the downfall of humanity. Off doesn't really interact with our arguments here, especially our argument about how we don't even know how good AI actually is. We're saying in the status quo, AI could basically just be pretending to be really bad because it knows that if it gets really good, then we'll spend more time on safety, then we'll spend more time, maybe think about using it less, maybe think about developing it less. Therefore, we're saying because we don't know how good AI actually is, we don't even know whether it could lead to the downfall of humanity in the future. AI could be really advanced right now, and tomorrow it decides to, strike. On our second contention, we say AI will create mass job loss. They say that AI can only go so far here and it can't manage itself. Again, this is not true. See what my partner says in our first contention. We give you warrants about how AI is actually able to train itself, how it's able to improve itself. We give you examples about how artificial general intelligence, or AGI, is being worked on. It's the main goal of all of the big AI companies, OpenAI, Midjourney, etc. All of these companies are basically trying to create an AI that is able to do everything that a human does. Again, what is different between AI and all other technological innovation is that AI is designed to replicate and replace humans. So even if you say, oh, well, the whatever innovation was good for the past, no innovation has literally just been a ultimate replacement for human intelligence. Human intelligence is what makes humans like desirable and able to do jobs. We say if we develop an AI that can just replace humans entirely or is at the level of human intelligence, there's nothing stopping it from doing every single job a human has. Again, this is pointed out to my partner, and the only response is basically that AI can only go so far. We say this is not true because the whole point of AI is to replicate what a human can do. AI, and also AI is already replacing jobs. Automated trucks are already on the road. Automated delivery services now exist. What else? Artists are losing their jobs right now, which is a good segue into our third contention about art and creativity. And they say basically here that AI doesn't replace the jobs of an artist and emotion comes basically from humans. However, we say that most people like bad art. Most people are okay with seeing a reproduction on their wall. The amount of artists who are selling $1 million paintings and making their money that way is just a minority of actual artists, right? Most people are making art for corporations. And guess what corporations do when they figure out that Midjourney can generate 15 images for 2 cents that all look great? They're going to fire their current developers. So for these reasons, and because the op doesn't actually interact with our arguments about how AI will destroy the world, AI will take over jobs, and AI will lead to the destruction of art, I urge a strong gov vote. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just like trying to get everything to load. Okay. I'll start my speech, which is going to be 8 minutes, and I'll begin that now. First of all, to address framework, again, they basically said that our frameworks were the same, so default to the gov side. Basically, what we're saying is instead that we have to realize that number one, our weighing mechanism of this round being cost spend is simply we're just saying that it is a mechanism that is able to encompass theirs and is also something that is basically taking into account everything that we've talked about in this debate. So first of all, going into their contentions. To begin, they talked about how basically number one, how it's to our first contention, they said that we don't uniquely talk about AI. Everything that we mention in our first contention is unique to AI. We talk about how the usage of AI, because of its intelligence, because of its accuracy, because of the fact that it is automated, is the reason why it is helping to save lives, the reason why it is helping to ensure that it is preventing terrorist attacks. It is because it is able to process so much data. And this is unique to AI. It is not something that normal intelligence or anything else can do. We are specifically talking about AI. Normal computing is unable to solve. We realize that in the status quo, we see that AI is already taking so much is already being like invented towards there's already been a rise in AI. And that is not and there would be no reason to develop all of this AI if normal computing could just replace it completely. The reason why we have AI is because it can help solve so many issues. And then again, so going back to their response against our first contention, they say that it's basically there's going to be bad actors, they're going to take things. Again, this is also something that is contradicting their previous point. If AI is not able to really solve for anything, first of all, doesn't that mean that this is the same as with bad actors taking passwords or taking normal intelligence, whatever that means? Or even if it just means bad actors taking over other things, this is non-unique to this argument. Second of all, AI is able to be harnessed on a greater scale with more data when it is being taken by actors that are not bad actors. And we realize that the government is actually able to implement AI on a greater scale that is able to catch bad actors from doing this. And because AI is able to basically be able to help manage itself, AI is able to be more accurate, and because AI can detect these type of things, it is also something that prevents bad actors that is actually relatively more safe compared to bad actors taking passwords and hacking into other things. What we realize is that first of all, we take into account that I'll take this after this point. My opponent also says good safety can exist either way. Exactly. This is completely a non-unique point. I will take the POI.
Great. What specifically about AI makes it better at doing these security tasks than normal computing? For example, with you give the example of biometrics. Why is AI better at biometrics than a computer algorithm that is able to recognize a fingerprint?
Okay, so I talked about how recognition technologies are most important. So first of all, I wanted to talk about how AI can encompass a large variety of data, and it can also use this data to make a conclusion. AI can read tons of data and actually create a conclusion with it rather than just having it be there. And additionally, we also take into account the fact that when we look at biometrics and things like that, AI is a major part of it, because when we see things that are able to do this type of tracking, do this type of security, it is usually from AI, because of the fact that AI is able to not only store a wide range of data but also like analyze it, because AI has that intelligence aspect to it. And it is this analysis, it is this accuracy that is not able to be done with anything else other than AI. So going on. So to they also say against our second contention that AI doesn't solve and normal computing is better. Again, extend what I previously said. AI is still unique because of a number of reasons. AI is ultimately something that is more accurate. AI is something that has a lot of um, intelligence that makes it better than humans at certain tasks. What we see here is that this is obviously something that regular computing is unable to do. And they say that basically AI can learn and improve itself to the point when um they no longer think humans are good. So first of all, my opponent also comes up with the idea that AI is able to suddenly like become and take over the world and suddenly strike. Again, my opponent is first of all talking about the AI going away from human coding. So when we talk about AI and when we talk about things like this, we realize that this is not only very improbable from happening, but second of all, entirely unrealistic. Because what are the chances of not only AI like coming out and like not liking humans anymore, but that happening to all AI across the world, or for AI to coordinate a world effort when they previously already said that AI was basically just as smart or can only perform the tasks that normal computing can do. So AI is really not going to do this. AI is still made to help the humans. And it is this idea that AI is not going to be managed by humans at all that is their mistake. They don't realize that AI is not going to be something that is going to be let out into the open or let into the world by itself. It is something that is going to be constantly managed, constantly developed. It is something that is going to be changed. It's not something that is going to be left alone and left there for like a long time. And also, my opponent does not
It's not the
realize the
QI.
probability of this happening is very low, not right now. And then onto their contention three, they also just talked about how first of all, again, normal computing can do this better. In my point, we specifically talked about things that AI could do that nothing else could do. We talked about a variety of examples. AI algorithms that are able to analyze chest radiograms, AI algorithms that are able to detect cancer better than physicians. We see that there is no room for human error in these cases. There is no room for humans to work with whatever else they think that they can work with, and just be able to create these be able to monitor and create things like this. It is this monitoring, it is the fact that they're able to access humans health without having to go into a hospital. It is in this accuracy and it is in the amount of data that it can have that AI is able to save hundreds of thousands of lives. It is unique to AI completely. My opponent provides no reason why other forms of intelligence or other not other forms of intelligence, other forms of computing are able to do the same thing. My opponent is basically saying that all that is unique to AI is that they are able to suddenly go and take over the world. But then that directly contradicts their idea that AI is able to create art, AI is able to take jobs. They cannot decide which narrative they want to go with. And ultimately, again, with the art point, I would like to go back to that really quickly. So, first of all, when they're strengthening their own case, there's this saying that AI has a mind of its own. First of all, not only is that unrealistic, which we talked about before, but second of all, there's more to humans than how smart they are. They have emotions, innovation, creativity. AI doesn't have this. AI can't replace everything or anything because all it can base itself off is what humans have already created. And again, second of all, if as view AIs for artists, we see that AI can actually be something for artists to look for inspiration. AI is a tool, not an enemy. AI is not another species of human. AI is not something that will take over the world. It is something that is managed by humans and something that can be used as a tool from humans to save hundreds of thousands of human lives. At the end of this debate, we see that ultimately, as the other speaker will continue talking about, this is what leads into what has the greatest benefit. Thank you.
All right. My name's Andy Martin still, and I'm still the first op speaker. As an off-time roadmap, I'll first be giving a short little introduction, and then I'll go over into some voter points why you should vote for the opposition team. All right, everyone ready? Perfect. My 4-minute speech will begin on my first word, which is now. Our opponent's entire case looks like a sci-fi movie from the 1990s. They tell you that AI will take over the world. They tell you that it'll lead to the death of humanity, and they tell you that humans will all die from this. This leads to extinction. Humanity's gone. However, Judge, as we've told you time and time again throughout this debate, we have already disproved these ideas. And importantly, they have mixed up narratives with their contentions. They tell you that, oh, it's going to lead to the death of humanity, but it leads into job shortages. Oh, it leads into art created by AI and people won't buy it. Their entire case is contradicting themselves, and they've been doing it this entire round. Therefore, this round should be a clear opposition ballot for the following voters. And first voter, their entire case lays on the foundation that AI has a mind of its own, and this is going to lead to human extinction and death and global catastrophe. First, as my partner stated in her last speech, AI is coded by humans, and this entire extinction level impact is simply unreasonable and improbable. Judge, we tell you not to vote on this contention. While our contentions are down to earth, pragmatic, and practical, this contention is completely unreasonable. Prefer our probability impacts over their magnitude ones, because we tell you it's preventing terrorism and the status quo. It's saving hundreds of thousands of lives every single year. It is solving impending pandemics, and it's reducing fraud. Prefer our tangible contentions over this entire idea that humanity is going to be extinct because robots are going to take over. This is not Avengers Age of Ultron. This is not sci-fi. Please vote on the practical side, on the logical side, not the side that tells you that robots are going to take over the earth and we're all going to die because of this. Additionally, according to them, normal computing solves better. But then AI isn't really that smart, right? They contradict themselves this entire case. They also tell you that normal computing solves better. They have better solvency. However, as my partner said in her last speech, we already told you about AI's capabilities throughout our entire case that are unique to AI and to AI's efficiency, speed, and accuracy. They can't decide on what to truly believe in, normal computing or AI. They just contradict themselves a ton. Additionally, our second voter is on the medical industry. We tell you how AI can help solve impending pandemics, which one completely dropped, by the way. If this is the only, if there's an extinction level impact that should be flowed through this entire round, it should be this one. AI is accurate. AI is efficient. AI is fast. We can see that AI completely tramps normal computing because of its security and its efficiency. We tell you that it can create vaccines, it can create antibiotics, it can create treatments significantly faster than any human doctor, any normal computing can. If there's any extinction level impact that should win this round, Judge, we tell you the most pragmatic, the most logical impact ever brought into this round to begin with is this one. We also brought up this idea of space travel. We tell you that space travel is important. We tell you that AI can solve this impact as well. This also went dropped by our opponents. And our third voter for this round is that AI is simply based off of what humans have created. It is based off of what developers have coded. It is based on what humans have inputted into its data. AI is a tool, not an enemy. It's a tool. They bring up this idea of art. They tell you that AI is going to take over the art industry. AI is going to take over people's jobs. However, people won't buy AI art if the art gets so bad, and corporate companies still need that art. So they're not going to replace their workers. It makes no sense. And for all of these reasons and many more, because our case is more logical and it has more down-to-earth contentions, we are so proud to oppose and strongly urge your ballot. Thank you.
My name and pronouns have not changed, so I will begin my time. I stand on the firmest of affirmations that on balance, the rise of artificial intelligence will do more harm than good. First, on just a point that the government made that about us having conflicting narratives, I'd like to respond, this is simply not true. Just because AI can figure out how to destroy humanity or how to do this task that someone has given it, that doesn't mean that it's so much more useful for detecting fingerprints than other normal computing programs, because normal algorithms are already good enough at detecting fingerprints. The opposition simply does not give any warrants to how AI is so much better than other normal algorithms at protecting countries, at detecting facial recognition or fingerprints. This can happen with normal algorithms, and the examples they give of how this has been implemented happened without this advanced AI. So the rise of AI technology does not factor in to that part of their case. Okay, now to the main voter issues. First, AI will lead to mass job loss. So as AI improves and gets adopted more and more, it will only serve to take away the need for jobs. This will lead to mass unemployment and far worse quality of life. Furthermore, AI takes away the ability to unionize because it takes away the power of the workers. This went clean conceded by the opposition. This means that when workers strike for better pay or better working conditions, employers will now simply replace them with AI. And finally, we say that artists are going to have their jobs taken away as AI is able to generate art that is far cheaper and passable enough to make a profit. This is terrible because one, artists lose their living, and two, the art we will have is soulless. Okay. And takes away all innovation in the art world. They respond to this by saying that it is only basic jobs being replaced. So two main responses to this. One, this means that now anyone who can't afford a college education cannot get a job, which creates more disparity between classes. And two, this is in the status quo. We say that with how rapidly AI is improving, it will be able to take away complex jobs in the future. This is basic AI that is taking away basic jobs. Complex AI will take away complex jobs, which leads to far more job loss. We can see that AI is going to be able to take away many jobs, leading to mass poverty, mass disparity between classes, far more death, and inability to get basic needs. Finally, on the difference between AI and normal programming, when we weigh the benefits of AI with the downsides, we say that even the possibility of a global AI disaster outweighs any of the benefits the government gives you. What is the resolution asking? That AI will lead to more harm than good. We say that the unique benefits provided by AI compared to normal algorithms is far outweighed by the massive harms, both on magnitude and time frame, which I will get into more later. And then on our second contention, second voter issue, super intelligent AI. AI trained to maximize a goal will use humans as a means to an end. AI is able to improve itself done through self-training AI. So it will continue to train itself. And furthermore, we don't know how good AI actually is. We don't know how good it is even now. So this means that AI is not controlled by humans and will become far more separate from humans. The opposition argues that AI relies on humans and relies on human coding. However, AI is trained to program itself, to self-train itself. So it does not rely on humans. In the definition of AI, it does not rely on humans because it is self-training. And then, so first off, they concede our point that one, we don't even know how good AI is, and two, the stop button problem exists where humans cannot control AI because the AI has this single goal. They respond to this by saying only saying that one is improbable and two, not all AI will do this. Judge, one, we only need one AI to decide to do this, to create mass extinction, mass problems in humanity, and two, the probability of this now is far different from the probability of it in the future. As AI improves and improves, this probability increases. Even if AI destroys humanity in 100 years, it still outweighs any advantages now. The resolution is talking about the future. So finally, on weighing. First, jobs. Time frame. These job losses are happening right now. Any benefit the opposition gives you of AI doesn't matter if no one has jobs because corporations want to fire their entire workplace. I can't get the benefits to the medical AI if I don't have a job and can't afford healthcare. And then probability, again, this is happening in the status quo. Jobs are being lost. And then magnitude, if no one has a job, then it doesn't matter how useful AI is because people can't afford food. Then on death, time frame. Even if AI isn't that good right now, we don't know about 10 years or 100. It is self-training and it is rapidly training. Because of this, even if AI isn't as good right now, which we have no way of knowing, even in 100 years, it could destroy the world. This impacts out not just the humans alive now, but every human who will ever live or could ever live. And then magnitude, human extinction, simply outweighs. So for these reasons, I strongly urge a vote for the government.
Thank you all. I enjoyed this round.
I
Thank
love
you so
the
much for
Marvel
judging.
references.
This was a really great round. Thank you for providing us this opportunity, opponents.
Yes, thank you. Also, okay, have we
Thank you,
voted against
Jenny.
each other by any chance?
Yeah, it was at Lorena. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
who was it?
Lorena!
I was trying to remember when.
Yeah, I definitely recognized you guys, but I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, I competed with a different partner, but she lives in like Wisconsin, so we are not competing together.
Fun. Judge, are you going to do an RFD by any chance? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I'm happy to if you folks are ready.
Okay,
Awesome,
cool.
I was intrigued by the points you all brought up. I think that like you all brought up really valid points. I didn't really buy the whole like doomsday scenario thing, and I really appreciate that Ultron comment because it's exactly what was in my brain the entire time. Also before I get into the RFD, like obviously I think you all are like wonderful speakers, like truly like a very high speaker points round compared to anything that I've like judged this year. So understand that I think you all are incredible debaters. I just think that like I think it's a resolution that favors the op, but I am voting for the gov today. The reason I am is because ultimately they were able to um, function the single point that swayed the entire thing, because again I think you both made salient points, or rather also poked holes in each other's cases, is this concept of like existing algorithms are already doing these things that like the op was ascribing to AI. And when the op failed to provide specific examples that like were occurring because of specifically like AI, rather than like existing again like biometric stuff that like again exists like not with AI, I mean, that point stands, right? And so that is ultimately what won the gov. Like, understand that you both made incredible points, wonderful speakers. Again, I did not buy the gov doomsday scenarios, but I think the point around unionizing was like super, super, super important, and it did go unaddressed. However, the medical point that the op had was nearly winning them the debate. That I felt did go unaddressed on my flow. At a level that like truly refuted it. I think that's a really important point. But at the end of the day, I didn't buy. Yes, I bought that there were like AI developments in medicine, but only based on my previous knowledge coming into the round, right? Like without the specifics, I wasn't able to like say, okay, yeah, definitively that's AI being good versus just being like, is it already existing tech? So good luck in future rounds. And again, beautiful, like just styles of debating. It was really cool to watch you all.
Thank
Cool,
you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you guys.
Great round.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
See ya.